Hey, today we're dusting one off the bookshelf, Set for Life by Biggerpockets CEO, an all-out guide to becoming financially independent. Worked for the author, worked for me, can work for you too. First step is the hardest. It's saving your first $25,000. The baseline of wealth building is frugality. Saving money, pinching pennies. The best way to do that is through the top three: your housing, your food, and your cars. If you can live close to work and reduce your fuel costs, buy a used, reliable vehicle like a Honda or Toyota. Those things run forever. When you're in your 20s and 30s, if you can get cheap, affordable housing, if you can get a roommate, that will really bring down your housing costs. And then food. If you can eat out only a little bit, if you can cook a lot of meals at home, if you're not getting DoorDash all the time, that'll really start to add up. The latte factor, or cutting out your fun money, that's not really hundreds or thousands of dollars a month for most of us. So that stuff doesn't matter. And that's what actually gives you and me happiness is having fun with family and friends. The best way in the book is to reduce your housing, your transportation, and your food costs. Another best thing about frugality is that you can make it happen today. Some of these other levers that we're going to be pulling on our path to financial independence, they take many years to be able to actually play them. But frugality starts today if you want it to. And so it's attainable for everybody at all income levels. In the book, Scott talks about having a 50 to 75% savings rate. For most people, most common recommendations are 10 to 15%. So this 50 to 75 just blows it out of the water. And that gets you way ahead of your peers in just a short number of years. I did that for a couple of years, and I probably would tweak some things if I were to go back and do it all over again, but it really helps build up that initial nest egg to start wealth building. Obviously, that 50 to 75% savings rate is pretty aggressive, but if you want to reach financial independence within 10 years, you're going to have to get aggressive. If you want above average results, you can't put in average input. Another good way to start saving money is to DIY, do it yourself. So like home repairs, car repairs, if you look up on YouTube how to replace a toilet, how to fix a clogged sink, how to fix the carburetor on your lawnmower, how to change the air filter on your car, a lot of those things are really not that hard. And they're also just not catastrophic if you have to do it 2 or 3 times till you get it right. And so I think a lot of people have fear. You don't realize about most things of fear is it's a mile wide and an inch deep. And as soon as you step through it, as soon as you actually try, it's just not that big of a deal. And it was more just in your head. So if you just watch a couple YouTube videos, spend a half hour on Google learning something, you're going to probably figure out how to do it in 1 or 2 or 3 tries. Let's just say you screw it up and your toilet's leaking all over. Then call your plumber and have him come and fix it for $100. But don't be afraid to try things the first time. Like, a lot of stuff's just really not that hard, and most of us are actually pretty capable people. Another way to save money is to buy value. Be okay with good, not the best or high quality. If you're starting to chase that in your 20s and 30s, then it's obvious that you're not going to get ahead as much as you could. And so if you start buying extra nice things before you start saving, that's going to take place of all the money that you could be using to pay down debt to start to buy assets that produce income. Another good way to save money is with insurance, is to raise your deductible. But that means you have to have more of an emergency fund. With a higher deductible, your insurance premiums go down significantly. So these are all the top ways that you can start saving money in your budget today to start saving $1,000, maybe $1,500 a month to get up to your first $25,000. And hopefully you can do that in 1 or 2 or 3 years. This is the hardest thing within wealth building, is your first $25,000. Once you've hit $25,000, you can kind of make your first big freedom purchase. You can start to invest in yourself. You can buy your first house. You can buy your first house hack. You have money to start a business. You have money to maybe take 6 months off work and start learning how to build new skill sets, try to start an online business, go digital nomad, switch to a career that you're more passionate about that you want to do for the next 30 years. So this first 25 grand is just pivotal moment for most people. The next major step is moving from $25,000 to $100,000. If you can save 25 grand, I am sure you can save $100,000. The next $75,000 will be easier than that first $25,000. And so once you've hit this $25,000, you can make the most important investment of your life, and that's investing in yourself. And so maybe you need to get some additional training, certifications. Maybe you need to do a career change. You can start buying assets that produce income and help you save money even faster because of that passive income starting to grow with your savings. Once you've hit that $25,000, you just got to keep on the path. And it can be slow and monotonous and arguably boring now that you're saving $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 a month. But pretty soon, probably within a year or two, you'll hit that $100,000. First lever to pull is frugality. Second lever is to raise your income. And now that you have this big emergency fund, this big savings account, you're allowed to take more risk and you're allowed to try to pursue a path that has higher income potential. Maybe it's a sales job, maybe it's a consultant, maybe it's a contractor, your own business, something like that. But just remember, if where you are right now is not where you want to be, but you're uncomfortable to do anything different to get to where you want to be, there's this saying I like, nothing changes if nothing changes. And so just think of that. Something has to change in order for something to change. So now, second big milestone, you've reached $100,000 and you're likely going to be making at least $10,000 a year, call it about $1,000 a month in passive income at this point. Your frugality muscle, you've got that going. Your income's likely risen. And now you're in kind of the messy middle. It gets arguably boring and unexciting and confusing. And now you're starting to save $25,000, $50,000, $75,000, $100,000 a year between your passive income and your savings. Your wealth is starting to build pretty fast. And before you have 100 grand, then you have 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. It all kind of blends together and you start to really see compound interest. So that's how you can become set for life. That's how you can become financially independent, take control of your life, and start living your life on your terms. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for more book reviews and advice on how you too can become financially independent.